Today there is quite a bit of wind again, and yes, summer hasn't started. It's poo time. Well, still I'm gonna go down into the valley because I need to videotape the mall. I need a hang in the mall. I really have to. Now I got the reason to go there. So that's the kind of weather we got. All clouds. But there is no such thing as bad weather because you can always put on wet shoes. My sneakers are still a bit wet. I didn't put them out early enough to dry in front of my window, so now they are still a bit clumsy, if that's the word. Well, clumsy is when you cannot really, and that's how I feel as well. My fingers and my feet are cold. Freezing. So, last video I told you about this. Really, it makes it into my book, Legal Situation in Switzerland, whereas when you really have a problem and you tell the authorities, nothing happens. It's as if though this man that had bought the liquid LSD was working for the government and they were setting traps for people so they could like find the whereabouts of the LSD trade in Switzerland. Well, otherwise this story makes no sense. And also I was living with that guy and he trapped me into his house kind of by giving me this LSD on a plate of spaghetti. So I was still like the only leftover after a party. I was still around. So he gave me a contract. I lived there for 3 months and everyone that was there beforehand moved out in the first week already. They did. 2 people, they knew about the dealings of my house owner. So he could not really evict them. Also, they didn't have a contract. They were just living there. He, my house owner at that time, went to parties. He sold drugs. Well, that's how I think about it now. Sold drugs, met those 2 guys, invited them to his home. They weren't really fond of him after a while, so now they knew about his dealings and they wouldn't leave, and now they were doing their own thing. One of them was working, had a normal job, the other one I'm not sure. So this story I'm integrating into my book I'm writing right now. So because I almost finished my music album in the way that I have written the songs and I have like invented a melody for them and I have sung it into a microphone, and now, and of course the mixing and all has not happened, so don't you go thinking I'm like claiming, you know, being a music producer. No, I'm not, but I'm a creative mind, and so if I need to sing and if I need to record and if I need to put out songs, I just do that. So, some of you might know what this is, and some just won't. So, as I have now finished all of this, sorry, it's so cold, the wind and all. As I really have finished a great bit of my album, I am really into this book now, and I will integrate this legal situation in Switzerland into the book, because part of being a narcissist abuse victim, now I can say it pretty fluently, is also that no one really listens to you. But yeah, not just the LSD situation, but also I've been hit and stuff like that. And because of the illegal immigrants in Switzerland, some help organization never ever went to tell the police. And then also the same people from the illegal ones, from this help organization, they went and told the police. They went probably to a doctor and threatened her by life. So the police came to me. What's that doings? You're threatening someone by their life? No. So that one was what I told you the last video. And this video is gonna be again a walk and talk, because I feel so very much alone in my cottage up the mountain. From time to time I just need to talk, not just because of saying things about myself, or also because of moving my mouth. So if I'm not moving my mouth, some situation happens, which is the lisp situation. So I was living beside train tracks in Switzerland, Zurich. I wanted to say, I'm still in Switzerland. All of this is Switzerland. So I was what's that? I was lisping, and I can tell because I made some speaking trouble videos. That's how I called them, because I was in trouble and I was not properly speaking. I couldn't say the word S. The letter S in a word wouldn't come out properly. It was lisping that I was experiencing. And it took me a while to realize that I am lisping, maybe. And when I had found out, I wanted to get rid of it. So I was like really, trying to say certain words. And then I found out, sorry, the exercises that I have to do. And so I did. And now, I'm so sorry. My hands are freezing cold, and I'm just kind of experiencing some pain at the moment. Like my hands and my coughing, and I hope I didn't catch some sort of illness from the cat. Sorry you have to experience all of this, but this is life. When you move about in Switzerland, you'll always have some farmer spitting on the ground. So I do as farmers do. I'm not using a handkerchief, because if I don't have toilet paper on hand, then I just put it like this on the floor. Yeah. And I learned from construction workers, farmers, so to speak. I know exactly where I saw it first. He's called SM. His surname started with an M, and his name started with an S. So, not the other SM. So, yes, I'm gonna integrate all of this in my book. And now I'm heading for the village, because I want to buy some seeds for the birds, cucumber for myself, because I wasn't able to fast. I was wanting to fast until my mother's birthday. I thought, that I would get some help from her. Sorry. There is wind. And I'm not running. so I'm not getting warm by that. And that's why I'm cold, feeling cold. So now that's the coughing. I feel cold inside. My hands are freezing cold. This is the bite of this Portuguese woman. And I don't want to get an inflammation, so I put betadine onto it, which is against bacteria, viruses, the other thing, the mushroom thing as well. So, how disgusting someone, you know, bites you there, and they transmit all their fucking rotten diseases. It wasn't all through onto a vein, so I haven't totally caught her diseases, but still it's like there. How can you do so? Yeah. So I feel very much a victim in this. The police has like gone, you know, you're gonna be stuck with this for a while. Oh yeah, I don't mind prison or penalties. Just bring them in. I'm sorry. I maybe need to run a bit because it's just too cold. You know, there is such a lot of wind and it's cold air also. So I put my hand, like there's a Swiss canton at the farmers, all of the pictures where you see them, they have their hands in the pockets. And it's so rude. Usually people would tell you don't put your hands into the pockets just because, yeah, it's not considered, you know, it's like hiding something. And also it looks lazy. When you're applying for a job and you've got your hands in your pocket, people might think a bit bad about you just because it looks lazy as well. But it's the main reason is to keep the hands warm, because as I'm doing right now, they have shirts that only reach about to the elbow. That's because it's their working clothes, so they are not properly like dressed for standing around. So whenever you see them standing around somewhere, then yes, they've got their hands in their pocket, and it really works. I really run down like this because of my cold hands. Yeah, now I start feeling a bit warmer. I might have catched a cold from the cat. The cat, it's a male cat. He came to me yesterday in the evening, and then after eating, I closed the door, I have to admit. Then I put the cat into a bed, and then the cat went back to eat some more, and after eating it didn't stand by the door going ow, ow, you know, let me out. It came to my carpet where I sleep, and then it slept with me on my blanket. And yeah, it's got a inflamed paw, it's got a inflamed eye. It's a wild cat living outside, so of course all this is not too good. Also for me, sleeping that close to a cat like this. And also it was stinking. It slept in a stable probably, that's why it was stinking. So I'll start anew in a second.